Before I start on the DNA, because this DNA is really important, there's some narrative that I've seen. And I will answer that narrative because I want that narrative to die today.
People, Ilian Mohbad's son DNA don scatter everywhere for social media. Hey, everywhere don burst. Wunmi, chai, na you do this one. My people, una know say anything wey VDM put hand, if they never see the end, not be VDM. Everywhere don scatter for social media. Abeg, as una dey suffer dey watch this video, abeg una mona dey share am, mona dey share am. Jesus, Nigeria system, Wunmi. Everybody when involved for this Mohbad bias, God. In fact, Mohbad must get justice.
All right, so it's now time for the DNA of Liam. Bro, you think what I posted yesterday was the shocker? You see this one ain't shocked me past for everything, yeah. This part is crazy, you know. Very, very crazy. I was shocked. I'm like, bro. But anyways, before I start on the DNA, because this DNA is really important, there's some narrative that I've seen. And I will answer that narrative because I want that narrative to die today. You see them say, Jojo, after how many years, you don't talk about Mohbad never get justice. That's number one. They will now say, very dark man, you must tell us who killed Mohbad. That's number two. You see, first things first. There's a person called Tupac Umaru Shakur. He's a legend, right? He was killed in 1996. Coincidentally, that was the same year that Mohbad was born, 1996. There's another coincidence again. Mohbad died on the 12th of September, 2023. Do you know when Tupac died? Tupac died on the 13th of September, 1996. See, there's a similarity. Just one day apart in their death date. And after 30 years, they finally arrested somebody linked to the death of Tupac. After 30 years, with all the equipment, all the police that they have, after it took a whole 30 years to be able to track down and arrest Keffi D. So this Mohbad, how many years has it been? But all these things that they are saying, I'll tell you why they are saying it. They don't want people's attention on the matter because attention puts them under pressure. It's that pressure that they don't want. They think they've covered everything. For their mind now, they don't hide all the evidence. They don't kill the case. That's why they vex anytime when I bring the matter up. It vex because they said they don't kill that case. Nobody go ask again. They don't chop. They'll clean mouths. Everything. Bro, slow and steady. I'm a patient person. And one thing about me, do you know I'm always here? Because the truth never departs from my lips. No matter if people try to twist what I say or blah, blah, you can't change the truth. So now we'll go straight to the DNA. Now with that narrative of that after how many years Mohbad never get just tell them say Tupac took 30 years for them to arrest one person. Now, as you all know, this DNA matter, I brought it up in the earliest stage of the investigation. I was almost eaten alive by a lot of Nigerian women. A lot of them, not all. I was almost eaten alive. They hated me for it till today. But I don't care about the hate because, to be honest, that's your opinion. Your hating is your opinion. I don't care. So they hated me for it. I was even threatened by the family members then that they will sue me if I talk about the DNA again. But of course, I be Ratel. You can't threaten me, you know. That one move. Now, Baba Mohbad now capitalized on that DNA. Because for some reason, it is the DNA that they have not been able to answer. They've not done it. And that DNA that I was insulted and rebuked for is the only thing that's holding on to this case. Anyways, this year in 2026, around 10th of February, they went to court because Baba Mohbad had been pressuring that he wants to do the DNA. They should give him Liam. Let him go and do a DNA test to be sure that that is his grandson. Then they will know how to move on from there. So he kept on asking the court, and the court finally granted it. But now, they cannot do a normal DNA test. Because the fluid, the water from Mohbad body go down dry. The blood self no go balance again. So there's no way they can do the normal DNA. So they will have to resort to doing what we call a tissue-based DNA test. So now, what is a tissue-based DNA? Let me read it. A tissue-based DNA testing is a DNA testing done using a piece of biological tissue from a person's body rather than the typical cheek swab or blood sample. For a deceased person, tissue may be collected from sources such as the muscle or other preserved tissue, skin, bone, or teeth, internal organ, depending on the condition of the body. The laboratory extracts DNA from the tissue and compares the DNA profile with the samples from relative or another person. Important: tissue-based DNA can be particularly useful in identification and paternity kinship cases involving deceased person, especially when a normal cheek swab is impossible. So in this case, they will need to do a tissue base on Mohbad. So they'll collect sample from Liam, then they'll collect a bone or teeth or part of his skin, then they'll go and do the DNA testing. Now, this DNA, they can't do it in Nigeria. They can't do it in Nigeria. They have to take it abroad, because even the normal DNA, you cannot even do it in Nigeria. So now they say they will need to collect sample from Liam and take to the US. Of course, there was a debate. Wunmi said she get her own hospital. When they started dragging, the court now gave an order. The court now said, you know what? Baba Mohbad, we'll give you people time. You will provide 3 names, 3 hospital names or laboratory where they do DNA. 3 from your side. Wunmi, you provide 3 from your side. And the court, who is like an umpire, the welfare officer will bring 3 laboratories where they will conduct this DNA. After your research, go and do your research and make sure that these people do DNA. On all levels, they do DNA. They agreed, they left. When they came back, they now brought 3 names each. Then the court now pick one out of each. I will read the court, what the court said. After all said and done, it is hereby unanimously agreed by all the parties and their lawyers in this case that the paternity test DNA herein mentioned should be carried out and done at these 3 laboratory centers, while the taking and forwarding of the sample must be well supervised by the social welfare officer, Ms. R.O. Aderamo. The laboratory centers are as follows. Number 1, the number 1 is the one that Baba Mohbad brought. DNA Diagnostics Center, Fairfield, Ohio, United States, ED Manton AB. So this number 1, Baba Mohbad brought it. Number 2 is the one that Wunmi brought. Alpha Biolab, 14, Webster Court, Karina Park, Westbrook, Warrington, WA5, AWD, United Kingdom. Then number 3 is the one that the court provided, the one that the welfare officer provided, Mrs. R.O. Aderamo. She said she provided Advanced Histopathology Laboratory Limited, 47A, Davonshire Street, lower ground floor, London, WIG 7AW, United Kingdom. Then it goes on to say, the taking of the sample and forwarding of the sample to the above laboratory centers must be adequately supervised by Ms. R.O. Aderamo, the welfare officer, in the presence of the parties and their respective lawyers. I hold and I so hold. Right? So the courts have chosen and have said, okay, since you people have done your research and you have said you have brought these laboratories, we'll give you have done research, these people do DNA on all type of DNA they do. Right? Tissue based, everything they do. So it has been agreed. So they give them. Now, they were now getting ready to collect sample from Liam. So as they were preparing, somebody from Baba Mohbad camp now said, see, we are sure of our own laboratory where we want to do this DNA in the US. Because we have nothing to hide. Right? But with the way we have been doing since this DNA matter, this is their own lab that they brought. Can we do an investigation if truly these people are legit? Because I don't trust this girl. Oh. They started arguing. One of them now said, what is the harm in trying? All we have to do is to send them an email to be sure that they do the DNA. Oh boy, now we have a problem there. Let me read the email that was sent. Hey! Oh, Bobby! Alright, so this is the DNA that was sent to the one that Wunmi provided, Alpha Biolab. As you can see, Alpha Biolab, it is there. See the address, Alpha Biolab, and the address that is here, right? So the person that sent the email, my name is Oluwasegun Julius, and I am a resident of the United States. I am writing to inquire whether your laboratory performs tissue-based DNA testing for paternity purposes. I am assisting my family members in Nigeria who need clarity regarding paternity. The child is a minor under the age of 5 and is alive, located in Nigeria, and the alleged father is deceased. His body has been embalmed for over 2 years without no fluid and blood remains in the body system, and is currently held in a morgue in Lagos, Nigeria. We would like to know if your laboratory can support testing in this situation. Details of our inquiry, what they want to know.